Okay, now let us find out what happens with Velu and that little girl who helped him, who was supposed to help him to find food. So Velu finally decided to follow that girl, and he observed the sack which she was carrying on her shoulder. So Velu was puzzled why she was carrying that sack on her shoulder. What are you carrying in that bag? Things, bottles, paper. Velu wondered what she was doing with them, but he felt shy to ask any more questions. It was still morning, but the sun blasted down on the tar and Velu's bare feet burned. It was not like walking on a mud road. He was soaked with sweat. He tried hard to walk in the shade and keep up with the girl at the same time. She walked really fast. How far away was the food? Okay, so Velu was following the girl because she promised him to get some food for him. So she was really walking very fast because she had the habit of walking fast. But Velu, being from a village boy, he didn't walk so fast, and that too he was bare feet. Okay, it is easy to walk in the village area without chappals or slippers. Okay, slippers, but in city area you have to wear chappals because there are roads made out of tar. Okay, and during the afternoon or morning also it becomes very hot, and it becomes very difficult for us to walk on the road without chappals. So it was very difficult for him to walk very fast. After almost after almost an hour of walking, they stopped in front of a big building. Okay, so finally the wait was over, and Velu got himself in front of a building. The name of the building, which was written over there, Sri Raj Rajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. Read Velu slowly. So slowly he read what it was written over there. A sign with letters made of flowers said, Groom J.V. Vinayagan, Bride Rani. So a sign was made which was decorated by flowers, and the spellings were written with flowers, decorated with flowers. The spellings were groom means dulha. Okay, groom, name of the groom was J.V. Vinayagan, and bride means dulhan, her name was Rani. So basically the building which they came and they stopped in front of was a marriage hall. Kalyana Mandapam. Kalyanam means marriage. Okay, it was a marriage hall. Velu stared at the building. Big cars parked outside. One of the cars had a flower garland and roses taped onto it. The girl looked around, pulled one off quickly and stuck it in her hair. Come on, she said. Are we going to eat here? Said Velu, looking at the huge hall and the people inside. So Velu thought she had brought him over here just to eat food there, which was made over there. Hopes, said the girl, shaking her thumb under his nose, like hopes. She led him behind the hall. There was a big garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. Two goats were standing on the pile fighting for a banana leaf. A cloud of flies buzzed around their legs. There was a rotten smell in the air. The girl picked up a squashy banana and held it out to Velu. So where did she bring Velu to eat his meal? Not not in that marriage hall, but behind the marriage hall, where all the waste food was dropped over there, was thrown over there. So she offered a squashy banana to him. Okay, and what she said, here's your food, see, take your food. Velu was shocked. Are we going to eat their leftover food? Are we going to eat? He was so shocked because for the first time in his life he was doing such things. Cheh, what do you think I am? A dog? I only take untouched food. Here's some more. Catch. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distaste. Okay, so when he said, are we going to eat their leftovers? So she was a little bit hurt, and she said, do you think I am a dog who eat leftover food? See, I am giving you this untouched food. And she threw the other food item, that was vada. Before that, she threw at him the squashed banana and then vada. Come on, hero, eat it. You think I like it? I told you I will find you something to eat. Don't think I have money to buy food for you. You would rather better, oh, okay, you would better eat what you get until you have your own money. So what she said, see, I am not having money to buy food for you. Whatever I can do to find out food for you is this, okay? So you have to eat it until you earn your own money to buy food. So Velu hesitated, but his stomach squeezed him again. He gulped down the banana and vada, okay? So anyhow, somehow he eat banana and vada, okay? His stomach felt better after that. He could have eaten at least 10 times more, but the girl could find only one more banana, which she ate herself. So she found one more banana, but she ate it because she was also hungry, okay? And further, it's too early, they have only tiffin time, eaten tiffin, okay? If you are still hungry, you will have to wait from for them to eat finish their lunch, okay? You can wait if you want, I have to work, okay, and I'm going. So she said, this is just a morning and those people have just thrown their leftover breakfast. If you want to eat more, you can wait till afternoon, because they will finish their lunch and they'll throw the leftover food from the lunch and you can eat from that. I have to go because I have a lot of work to do, so I'm going. So she picked up a couple of bottles from the heap and she threw it into her sack, and then she walked off. Velu panicked. He realized that if the girl left him, he had no idea where he was and what to do. It was better to stick to her. She seemed to know her way around. He ran after her again. So when the girl moved from there, Velu was panicked. He got afraid. If the girl moved from there, he had no idea what to do and where to go. So he thought it was better for him to stick to the girl and to move after her. "Hey!" he called. He did not even know the girl's name. "Hey, what is your name?" he asked, hurrying behind her. She stopped and turned around. "Oh, so you have been following me around without even knowing my name." Jaya. So the name of the girl was Jaya. "I am not following you." "What then? Who got you food?" "Can I come with you?" "Where are you going?" "Come if you want. This bag is full and I have to go home to get another one." So the name of the girl was Jaya, and Velu decided to follow her to her house, okay? And she was about to go to her home just to take the another empty bag. Already the sack she was carrying, it was full. Jaya and Velu walked along the roads for half an hour until they came to a bridge across a dirty trickle of water. "We are here in Triplicane now. See, that's Buckingham Canal," said Jaya. So when she reached her house, she introduced that place to Velu, and she said, "This is Triplicane and we are here, this is Buckingham Canal." Velu stared. This was a canal. Near some puddles of water was a row of the strangest huts he had ever seen. They were built out of all sorts of things: metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood and plastic. They stood crookedly and looked as if they would fall any moment. So Velu, for the first time in his life, he had seen such houses. In his village, there are houses made out of mud and leaves. But for the first time, he had seen houses made out of metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood and plastic. And those houses were all crookedly standing. Crookedly means not stable, anyhow, trembling, okay? And it looked as if those houses would fall at any moment. "Is this where you live? These houses are strange," said Velu. "In our village, the houses are made of mud and palm leaves." Jaya went around to one of the huts and dumped her sack outside. Then she picked up an empty one. On one of those houses, she stopped and she dumped her full sack over there, and she took another empty one. "Let's go." Okay, she turned to Velu and gave him a show. Show means push. She pushed to Velu. "At least help me now. Here, wear these and come with me." So she offered him a pair of shoes to wear without lace, okay? And she pushed him. She threw him a pair of old shoes without laces and pushed a sack and a stick into his hands. Velu was confused. What work did she want him to do with these things? The only work he had ever done was on the landowner's farm, weeding and taking cows out to graze. So Velu was confused why she was asking him to carry the bag and stick in his hand and to wear those shoes. So he was thinking what work she was supposed to give to him to do. Okay, in the village, in his village, he used to work for the landowners in the landowner's farm, cleaning the weeds in the weeds means unwanted grass and poisonous plants which grow on the farm area. You have to remove them from there just to have the nice crops to grow over there. So he used to clean the farmland. This kind of a work he used to do over there, and he used to take cows for grazing, and he used to earn money for that. So the work she was going to offer him was all new for him. So are there any farms in the city? He asked Jaya. So he inquired whether there were any farms in the city. She laughed and thumped her stick on the ground. Farms? There are no farmers here. We are rag pickers. Rag pickers? See my sack full of things I collected. Collected? From where? Asked Velu. From rubbish bins. Where else? You collect rubbish? Velu had never heard of such a thing. Okay, so Velu was confused because collecting rubbish, someone had thrown something and you are collecting it, and this is your job. You are a rag picker. He was totally confused about the thing. So she was fed up of that. Hey, blockhead, it's not any rubbish. Only paper, plastic and glass. Such things. We sell it to Jam Bazaar Jagu. So she used to collect waste paper, plastic, glass, okay, and she used to sell it to Jam Bazaar Jagu. So Velu was puzzled. He had heard of people throwing away rubbish, but why would anyone want to buy rubbish? He was confused because he had come to know for the first time in his life that people buy rubbish. Why would people buy rubbish? Who's Jam Bazaar Jagu and why he is buying all this? You think he buys it for show? He sells it to a factory. Come on, I don't have time to waste like you. So she was in bit hurry because she had to collect so many things, and she had to earn money out of that by selling those waste things to Jam Bazaar Jagu. Velu did not move. He hadn't run away and come to this new place to dig through garbage bins. Jaya poked at him with her stick. Okay, so Velu didn't move from his place, and he kept on thinking. He had not left his village to come to go to the city and to dig the garbage. He had not left his place, his own place, village, to do such kind of a work. So he was there, and what Jaya did, Jaya poked him by the stick. Look here, she shouted. If someone gets there before us, we don't get anything. Don't just stand there, posing. Big hero, I am trying to help you. Who filled your stomach today? So this is how Jaya is trying to make him realize that you have to work hard. Any work you have to do just to fill your stomach. Okay, so she was a girl who was very practical, but Velu was not practical at all. Okay, so what decision Velu takes. Okay, Velu scratched his head and he sighed. I will do it for now, he thought, until I find a better job. So he decided to do that work, the work which Jaya was doing, but until he gets a better job. And as soon as he gets a better job, he would leave that work soon. So this is the story about children at work. So this is the life of children who work hard, who didn't study, who don't have their parents with them, who live alone, who manage their livelihood, who have to live in very dirty places. They have to eat dirty things, okay, leftover foods, thrown foods for their livelihood. Okay, and this is a life of children who work. So this is very miserable thing. Think of yourself. We are very lucky. We are very, very, very lucky to have parents like how we have got. They are looking after our needs. Okay, so we have to respect them. Respect God. What you have got today, respect God. Okay, and whenever you see any child who is working on the ground, please try to help that child, not by offering him money. Just you can give him your books, old books to study, and encourage that child to learn. Okay, so we cannot do more than this, because we have certain limits, but we can help out these children, and be thankful, grateful to God, to your parents, that they are there to look after your needs. So this was the chapter Children at Work. Please go through both the videos and read the lesson story in the textbook. Go through the summary in, sorry, you don't have summary, you don't have refresher, I'm so sorry. I'll be giving you question answers soon, and this is how we have finished with the PT1 portion after this chapter. Learn the question answers and try to understand these videos, these chapters again. Go through the videos again and again, you have in your WhatsApp. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me, WhatsApp me or call me. I can clear your doubts. Start learning the question answers. Thank you.